in my ears. Somebody say something to make sure I can hear you.
Yeah, why do you need ears, Bill?
Something's wrong with my speakers.
Oh, well, I know somebody who could help you.
Yeah, maybe. Usually I can, but two active seniors, Jacob and Mary. Jacob was set 92 and Mary 89, living in the villages, are all excited about their decision to get married. They go for a stroll to discuss their wedding plans, and on the way, they pass by a drugstore. Jacob suggests they go in. Jacob addresses the man behind the counter and says, "Are you the owner?" The pharmacist answered, "Yes." "Jacob, we're about to get married. Do you sell heart medication?" Pharmacist, "Of course we do." "Jacob, how about medicine for circulation?" Pharmacist, "Definitely." "Jacob, how about suppositories and medicine for impotence?" Pharmacist, "You bet." "Jacob, medicine for memory problems, arthritis, and Alzheimer's?" Pharmacist, "Yes, a large variety. The works." "Jacob, how about vitamins, sleeping pills, Geritol, and prescription drugs for Parkinson's disease?" Pharmacist, "Absolutely." "Jacob, anything for heartburn and indigestion?" "Of course we do," says the pharmacist. "Do you sell wheelchairs and walkers and canes?" "All speeds and sizes." "How about adult diapers?" "Sure, we can help you with that." "Jacob, well, we'd like to use your store for our bridal registry."
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
That really ain't so funny.
I know what you mean, believe me. Oh. You ever send a text message and said, "Oops, I made a mistake"?
Yep.
There is a way to get around that. And there's a way to say, "Hey, I didn't mean to say that," and change it. It's called editing after you send it. So if I go to messages, and I'm going to share my screen. And I'm getting ready for on my phone there. Well, I'll switch it. If I go to messages on either my iPhone or my iPad, and I start a new message, and what I'm going to continue one to Anne here. And I say, "Hi, Anne." And I spelled tie day instead of today, and I go send it. So I sent that. And Anne should probably get that very quickly,
I did.
but it changed the spelling of it automatically corrected it for me. I want to change today to this morning. And if I press and hold that, I pressed and held the blue message that I sent. I tap edit, and instead I'll say this morning. And I better go back over there and, oops.
What did you press and hold? Did you press and hold edit?
And then, did you get the message corrected, Anne?
Well, let's see if I did. Not yet. I should have by now.
Doesn't say that. It doesn't say this morning.
Wait a sec. Bill Crow, how are things this morning?
Yeah, I changed it.
But did it change? It changed it on mine, so I don't get the original one.
Ah, how about that?
So the question was asked, did you press and hold the original
Okay.
message? Is that where you held it?
Okay, what did I press?
Yeah,
Right.
And I'll send that. Now I'm going to press and hold right here. See where the blue is? I'll just press and hold that. And then these suggestions come up
Sure.
and I can tap edit.
It's set up for you.
Oh, wait.
Encouraging.
So for instance, if I were going to send a message back to you
Go ahead.
or send you a message,
Go ahead, send it. Send me a message.
I'd love to, but I can't seem to get it to work.
Just enter text in the message area.
You'd think.
Mhm.
Okay, messages with Bill Crow. You know, it's so strange, Bill. What's coming up is messages from Bill Crow, and then there's a thing that says link and photo location, and then another big thing that says messages, Bill Crow. What did
Now
I
you gotta
press?
send a message first.
So,
So down here where it says iMessage is where you fill that in. Don't make it long, Ann. Just
I can't. Okay, here we go. I think I think I've got it. You want a mobile or a home?
message.
Yeah.
Mobile. Trying to think where you are. Either one. Either one.
Okay, well, I just sent you one.
You just said hi, Bill.
That's right.
Now go ahead and press where you have the blue hi, Bill,
Uh-huh.
and say hi. Delete Bill and make William. Change it to William.
Okay, it says reply, add sticker, undo send. Do
Did
I
you
undo
check?
send?
No. You should be able to press it and it should say edit.
There is an edit there. Uh-huh.
Tap edit.
Okay. Now I can change it or add to it.
Yeah, just get rid of Bill and change it to William. So everybody will see that hi Bill changes to hi William.
Mine has a blue circle with a check mark afterwards after I fixed it in the
Yes.
edit.
Mine too. Do I press that to send it?
I think so, yeah.
That means it went.
Did you get it?
Somebody sent me and corrected it. It's time to leave soon.
That's me.
But you didn't get hi, William?
I got to go back to you.
Oh.
And now it says hi William. If you look at your screen, you see it changed.
So you would have received two messages from us, correct?
I would have temporarily received the first one. And when you edited it, it would have replaced that. It will replace that with the new text.
What
The other
about the
one goes
what
away.
about the undo send option?
Well, try
Is
that
the-
if you want and see if I tap edited, it comes back and tells me both.
So I'm gonna hit. Oh, when I tapped on the revised message, it does not allow. It doesn't have that undo message option. It's
Okay,
only
you
the
can-
original one.
That's
Oh,
right.
more. Hang on, more. No, it went. No, it's gone. So if I send a new message, I guess.
Yeah, send a
Oh.
new message.
Well, I'm pressing and holding a new message that I just sent you, and it's not giving me any options.
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. It says this is a great tip.
And I need to know. Yeah, you got the message, but what if I wanted to say this isn't a great tip? So-
Okay, Anna just deleted the one she sent to me.
And you see that it's deleted?
I don't see it anymore. I saw
Oh,
it
I
tip,
see.
saw it come up a little while, but then
Okay,
it
and it's
deleted.
gone. Yeah.
Bill,
'Cause I
Bill,
wrote,
Bill,
I sent
one
text.
way, Bill, one way that I've practiced with these things is to send messages to myself.
Oh,
both
you
in
tried it.
Email and in messaging, and it works. It's a good way to figure out if things are working the way you want them to.
You mean, oh
Bill,
my
it's
God.
Mary Ann. Thank you so much for this. So many times I write back trying to apologize for what I wrote. And it
Right.
takes so much
It
time.
is a great
And this
tip.
is so easy. Thank you.
All right.
Particularly misspelt words. Sometimes they'll come up with a word that doesn't even have anything to do with what you're saying.
Exactly.
And you look and you send it, and you, oh my God, I didn't mean that. So,
Well,
yeah, that's
especially if it has a profanity in it or
Yeah,
something.
right.
I
Or
proved
you,
a
or
me-
you spelled
proved-
the
I
husband's
proved a
name
message
wrong.
that had a 4-letter word in it, and I never used that word. It was like, oh my gosh.
I didn't mean it.
So now you know how to correct that quickly. All right.
Great.
Cool. Tip, I
Great
tell you.
tip.
All right. Wow. I'm going to switch now.
Wait, what is the
Well-
purpose of that zebra there or camel, whatever that is?
Well, that was Ann sent me a message.
She sent that animal with it?
I didn't
Yeah.
send an animal.
Well, I see a picture of an animal there, either a camel or a zebra or something or other.
I see a
A giraffe.
giraffe.
head. A
I
giraffe.
see a
head.
giraffe.
Maybe
Okay, hold on, everybody.
Well, all I said was this is a great tip and I mean it. And there is no animal.
I know.
There's a
Oh, that
giraffe.
was from somebody else, maybe.
All right. Now you want to know how to send that animal.
Well, what is
Yeah.
the animal?
Yes,
I mean,
please.
what's the purpose?
Or it's just a fun
It's
thing.
funny.
I have the animal talking. So um,
How do you do that? How do you do that, Bill?
oh my God. Let me go back to Ann. And I'm on my phone now, and I tap the plus sign beside the message,
Okay.
and it says Memojis. I think that's where I did it.
What'd you do? Plus
And then I can choose an animal. This is with an iPhone, one of the later iPhones. So I'll choose a mouse here. Then I push the button. See the red button there on the screen?
Yes, yes.
I push the button. Hi, Ann. How are you today? And if I wink, eh,
She'll think you're flirting.
You just said it. You didn't write it.
and now I'm going to tap the arrow, and I just sent that to Ann. Okay.
The question she asked, you just said that, you didn't write it. Did that voice message go through?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
I got, we'll see what I got. Now I have to hit the little thing on the side, right?
I don't know. Did you get
Well,
did you
no,
get
where- I got
did you-
I got the message, I got the mouse.
so tap the microphone or something that came with it?
Oh, well, the microphone says it's off.
How about the speaker?
Well, there's uh-oh. I hit a little box that had an arrow and it's, wait. I'm not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, yeah, it should be a sound. The button. Hi, Ann. There you go. You today. And if I wink, eh, the button. Hi, Ann. How are you today? And if I wink, eh, The button. Hi, Ann. Okay, you can stop it, Ann. Somebody just sent me the bear here. Let's see. How do you get it to play?
Hmm.
Okay. All right, everybody. So there's a lot of fun to be had with messages.
Great information, Bill. Thank you.
Gee, we're going to talk about camera today. Uh-huh. Couple of things. I just want to start out by making sure a couple of my settings are adjusted correctly. So I'm going to go to settings. If you have an iPhone or an iPad, I'll go to it for both devices. And I'm going to scroll down in settings to where it says photos. I'm sorry, camera. And I'll go ahead and open up camera. Mhm. Down here somewhere. There it is. All right. And the only one I'm really want to make sure you have correct is that preserve settings. So I'm going to tap on preserve settings on both the iPhone and the iPad. And the only thing I'm going to have on, I have everything else off. And if you have other ones on, it's because you set them that way. But the one that I want to make sure you have on is the live photo. Okay?
Oh, I don't know.
There are a lot more categories on my iPhone than there are on my iPad.
Why do you want live photo on?
Everybody got that?
No. I don't find live photo.
The
I
last
lost you.
I lost you.
Why do you want it on?
And I'll explain why I did that later. Also, if you go back, hit the back arrow at the top there and go to camera. I'm sorry,
Okay.
go to grid and level. And make sure both of those are on as well.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I stopped listening for a sec.
Oh, no.
I tuned out. It's overload.
Already.
Yeah.
If you're in camera settings
Yes.
and you scroll down to where it says composition, the little gray says composition there.
Yes.
And you make sure that if you have it, grid and level are turned on.
Okay, grid and level. Hang on, do it on my phone too.
Bill, Mary Ann, I got that, but where's the live photo? I didn't catch that one.
If it's your iPad, you don't have one, or maybe
I'm on the iPhone Pro 14.
if you're on the iPhone, I'll go back here to where it says preserve settings. And I open preserve settings.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay.
And then down at the bottom of that, it says live photo and just
Got it. Thank
just
you.
make sure that one's on.
Thank you. Got it.
Bill, can you tell me on the iPhone where this second part, the composition, grid and level, I don't recognize where I can find that.
I'm on, it says camera at the top of my screen.
No, hold on. I've got camera mode, so I must be in the wrong thing.
Yeah, you're not in settings.
I am in settings. Oh, here it is. I see it. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay,
Okay.
now I'm going to go back. And I'm going to open the camera. On both the iPhone and the iPad. I don't want to do it on the iPad. Because of what I have behind the iPad there. I may cover up the camera. I don't think you want to look at my desk. Oh, well, got a picture of my desk there. Okay,
Yes,
Mine is out away.
what's on that what's on the message here?
Oh, that don't look so bad.
Okay. Now, if we look at my iPhone there, it says photos there at the bottom. And that's in blue and orange. Same over here, orange or yellow, right?
Yeah,
And if I tap on video, if you just touch video there, it'll switch to video mode. And then I can go, in my case, cinematic, slow motion, and time lapse. And that's the first thing you make sure when you're taking a photo that you're in the right mode. Your camera's doing what you want it to do.
right.
If you're
Right.
in the wrong mode, how do you get out of it?
You just tap the other options. In some cases, you can slide it, but if you just tap where it says portrait or tap where it says pano, so I'm just tapping what I want it to do. So I tap like there, or there. If I do it on my iPhone, right, I would tap here or here. Get the idea?
Yes. Yes.
All right, so we make sure we're in photo mode. Now, some of you may have some numbers here in your picture.
yes,
And if you do, that means you have more than one camera, actual camera on your device. It says I have 3. And if I tap with a 0.5, you see it backs off, comes in, and comes in tighter.
you have 3 because of that number 1 and 2x,
Yes,
a total sum.
I have, no, I have a total of 3 little dots there.
Oh, so each one is a camera. Okay,
Each one is a physical camera,
okay.
okay?
If it says 3 after the 2x, does that mean you have 4 cameras or?
You have a 3 out here?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Yes, you must have the pro versions.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
yeah, so you
Wow.
have 4 cameras.
Okay. Now all I need is to know how to use them.
Actually, you have 5 because you have one in the front. And if you click this little button,
Oh, okay.
it turns into selfie mode. I'm going to do it on my iPad. Let me get out of. All right. If I tap those little circles there, these guys, if
It
I
flips
tap
the
that, if I tap that, it flips to the front-facing camera. See?
Yeah.
You tap
Which
it
I
again,
do.
takes you back to the other camera. That's called selfie mode.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Something in another session mentioned something about cameras with a macro or nano. Is that MACRO?
Micro.
Macro.
It's some way of really taking a very, very close picture. Is that?
That's the close-up. Yes. And you may have, I'm not sure what your camera is there.
iPhone 14 Pro.
And it has a micro.
That was my question.
Oh,
How do you tell if they have how do you tell if they have that?
well, I have the 0.5 or the 2 there, 2x. Micro would be for really close-up shots if you have one. Okay,
And would that be the 3?
could be.
Okay.
I don't happen to have a 3, so I don't know. And go ahead and tap it and see how close it makes it.
Very.
There you go.
What is she tapping? The actual numbers on the screen?
Back here, yes, down here, where I
So
have
physically,
two,
if I tap it,
they, where
Oh.
I have two, she has another one
Yeah.
called 3. Okay,
so the smaller the number, the more close up it is. No, it's further pulled back more.
Right.
no, it's closer.
Yeah, and so the 0.5, you're pulled further back from.
That's
so you get a
correct.
wider angle.
Some people would call that the wide angle.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
So
Bill,
Go
mine
ahead.
is-
Bill, if there is a picture of a flower there in front of the 5/10, 0.5, what does that mean?
There's a picture of a flower where?
In front or to the left side of those numbers, 0.5, 1x, and so on.
I
What
think that's
happened?
the macro setting.
Is it? Wait, try it.
Yes. Yes, that's a macro setting.
It is?
Try
Okay.
Try tapping it.
Yeah. What's
Well,
it
I've tried
do?
tapping it, it doesn't seem to change much of anything.
All right.
So Bill, we can control what kind of picture we take by just tapping, whether it's the 0.5, the 1 or the 2,
Now we
before
got
we
that.
take pictures?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Didn't know
Now,
that.
now this requires some explanation. Okay.
Of course. Yeah.
You have physical different cameras, just like if you had a 35mm camera from back and you have these lenses you could click in.
Yeah.
Some of us have 3, some of us have 4, some of us only have 1, right? But if you put your fingers on the middle of the screen and zoom in by just pulling them apart, put your fingers on, I'm putting my 2 thumbs on right where the eagle is, and I'm pulling it apart. And I'm zooming way in,
Yeah.
okay?
And then you can take the picture.
And then you can take the picture, of course. Now, so why do I want to spend all that money? Let me get back. Why do I want to spend all that money for to have the physical different lenses when I could zoom in without them?
Yeah.
Why? Well, it's because it pixelates. When you start zooming in, you're cutting down the number of pixels that are in the picture you're taking. If you're using one of the lenses that comes by tapping those numbers, it's actually still a full pixel picture. And if you zoom in far enough, it will pixelate. It'll get fuzzy.
Right.
Okay?
Mhm.
So that's the
Yes.
reason. That's the reason it's that way. Okay? So at least you know.
Well, what was the purpose of the flower?
It must be another lens is the only thing I can figure out.
It's
I don't-
it's
I
the
don't-
macro setting. If you get close enough, that's when it'll show. It's a macro.
Well, mine doesn't do that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Mine is yellow with the flower, and then it also comes with a X acrostic with just plain black and white. What is the difference there?
Good question. When you're
If
on the
it's got
flower,
the X, that means you're not in macro setting anymore. You're out further.
Oh, okay. So if you just go closely to somebody, it should come on?
go
If you
ahead.
have if you're close with your camera, yes, it should come on. And Bill's is not for some strange reason.
Well, I don't have a macro capability, I guess.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a 15 Pro. So
thought
I guess
that's what-
that's part of it.
I guess that's what I have too. Let me try something.
And I've got 4 settings in addition to the macro if I
Okay, I don't have that version of the camera.
Bill, Marianne, I have a Pro 14 and all I have is that 0.5 and 1x.
Okay,
I don't know what that means, but,
that means you have two cameras.
oh, okay.
If you look at the back of your phone,
I do
you'll
have
see
two ones. Yeah,
there's two there, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm curious, those that have three or four things there, if you look at the back of your phone, do you have four cameras?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there you go. Amazing. Also back on the back of your phone is a flash. Right? It's a little white dot you have there. And there's usually a little hole, and that's the light sensing.
I have another one
Go ahead.
next to the light sensor. That's a real small one. I guess that's the fourth camera.
It could be, yes. It's amazing the amount of technology they've built into this. Now, I didn't get that one because I saw the write-up on it, and it's quite good, quite a good camera, but it does take some education to figure out how to use it all. I said, I don't use it. I'm not that much of a professional, so I that's why I didn't.
You needed to so you could educate the rest of us.
That was going to be my excuse. There you go.
Bill, can you say what the below your number one on your phone? What's the
Uh-huh.
circle? You've got the flash up at the top left, and what's to the right of it? What's that circle?
And we're going
mean?
to talk about that.
Sorry,
We're going to talk about all of it, in fact.
Okay.
Okay.
sorry, jumping the gun. Okay.
Okay. So now if I move up to here on my iPhone, to the right on my iPad, I'll see a lightning bolt. On my iPad, it has a line through it. On my iPhone, it does not. If it's black and white, that means it's in auto mode. And if you tap that little dot, puts a line through it. Now, if you tap that little lightning bolt up there and it tells you auto or on, or it tells you auto, on, or off. The newer ones don't have that particular feature right here.
So how do you know it's auto on or off? The off.
Right now, if it's white,
Mhm.
it's auto on. Meaning if it senses it needs flash, it will give it. Now I'm gonna go a little bit further here. You see the line at the top of the screen there? Or the arrow pointing up?
Yes.
Go ahead and tap that. And what will happen is this bottom bar here will change.
Oh yeah.
And it'll show you the different options you have in a little more detail. And if you press the lightning bolt there, it can says flash auto, on or off.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now go ahead and leave that bottom one alone.
When it says flash auto, are you supposed to put on or off or click one of them or just leave it on flash auto?
What's yellow?
Leave flash auto.
See, if I click on, it says flash on. Okay.
So the auto is just when it needs it and then otherwise you
right.
turn it on or off.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
If you have a low light situation and you want to capture the ambiance, you want to turn off the flash. You can do it up here at the top. And that just automatically turns it off, right? Which is fine. Okay.
Yes.
The little circle here is the f-stops, on or off. If you come down here, you can adjust it.
What are you adjusting, Bill?
I'm adjusting the amount of time I believe the shutter is open.
Oh, thank you.
I prefer to leave it in auto.
Me too.
All right, now let's get to this one. This is
Okay.
called a live photo.
Oh, yeah.
And I had you change a setting so that it would preserve whatever you set that as the next time you open your camera. If you had not turned it on, preserve, it would go to automatically take a live photo every time you open your camera. And now the question from all of you, or some of you, might be, what the heck is a live photo?
Found
A
out.
a live photo is a 3-second video.
Oh,
Let's call it a vignette. And if that circle looks like mine, it says live, right? The circle looks like that, does not have a line in it. If I hit the button right now, let me get rid of what's at the bottom, right? If I hit the button right now, you're not going to believe me. If I hit the button right now, it will take a 1.5-second video, adding it to the 1.5-second video it already had. In other words, it's taking a video right now, and it keeps preserving the last 1.5 seconds of the video it's got. And if that doesn't make sense to you, you're pretty good.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay,
Bill,
I'm gonna,
I want to
I'm-
keep it simple. Should I have a line through that or have it like you have it?
you may
Okay.
want to, you should probably understand this. Most of the time, you should have a line through it.
Thank you.
See my finger?
Yep.
Now, if I take a photo right now and I stop when I push the button, will I capture this action?
yeah, because it's on.
Yes, because it's on.
Yes, because it's recording the 1.5 seconds before I push the button. So let me do it. I come down here and I go button. Now, if I go back and look at that video and I press the screen, see that? Now my finger was not wagging after I pushed the button, except when I pulled it away there. So I got this wagging, and then where my finger went snap is when I hit the shutter. Snap. Okay. What is the purpose of that? Most people love, not most people, a lot of people like live photo because it captures some action, and it's just a short video. I can think of a practical use for it at the finish line of a race. The racers are coming around the track, then they're getting to the finish line, and when they hit the finish line, you push the button. And it will show you the 1.5 seconds before they hit the finish line. Okay? And some people just like it because it's a little vignette. It gives you a little action with the photo. Now, many people have about 300 of them because they never paid any attention to that little circle up there and made sure it was off
Yeah.
before they took the picture.
Yeah.
Is there any,
Bill,
is there, go ahead.
another place where it makes things a little bit interesting.
Go.
If you take a picture with a fire, a real fire in the background,
Yes.
that makes a nice little picture.
Yes. Yes. Get the warm glow of the fire.
Mhm.
It even saves the sound. So if you have a little crackling in the fireplace, it'll have the crackling as well. Okay.
Once
In
once you have all
conclusion,
of, okay, well, go ahead.
should I have a line through it or not? I really don't do video.
A line through it.
Fine, thank you.
Now, once you have all of these photographs that take up all the space, how do you make them unlive, or what can you do to just keep one?
Oh, we'll talk about that next time, when I talk
Next
about
time,
photo,
okay.
when I talk, see, I put my finger here and I touch the screen. Okay. You can't see the little dot
I
on the
would
screen,
like
can
some live stuff.
No,
you? Okay,
Can you extend the time that it's gonna take that last extend the 1.5 seconds to
Ye-
2 or 3 seconds?
no, you cannot. It's actually a 3-second video, second and a half before you push the button and a second and a half after. So it's actually 3 seconds, but you can't change the time. If you wanted to do that, you'd go over here to video and then push the button. Okay, and when you push that button, and I wiggle my finger, and it's still recording. In fact, it's recording my sound. Then I turn it off and I go down here, and now I have this. Come on. Not going to play for me, are you?
So we have the live video button on settings, so that if we want to turn this on at the camera, we can just shoot, correct?
No, actually, most people forgets it's there, and they end up with 500 live
Right.
photos. If you don't turn on that preserve settings, whenever you open your camera, it opens live video without the line. So every
And it
picture
uses more space.
and it uses more space for every picture.
Yeah, it does.
So when we turned on preserve settings, it says preserve whatever was there the last time you had the camera on. So if you turn it on, it will come up that way with that on, with live photo turned off every time you activate the camera app. Does that make sense? It's kind of reverse thinking, I know, but it works. Okay,
yes,
that was the most complicated of all the things we're going to talk about.
I hope I understand it, because New Year's Eve, I had all live photos.
Well, that's not necessarily bad.
Everybody's, oh, Grandpa had good moves.
There you go. And
Bill,
there is ways to capture one picture out of it if you wish. Okay, go ahead. You had a question?
I couldn't get to where you are, so I was fiddling, and my phone did outline a sort of a white outline that moved around the people and the figures in the picture. And I ended up with a picture of the 3 people that are in the picture, including a dog with no background, which is very interesting.
We'll get there. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. There is one other setting you might want to consider. I'm going to again tap the little arrow at the top so I get a menu at the bottom. And that menu gives you all kinds of options going across here. The only one I want to talk about is if I scroll I can put my finger there and scroll left to right. Can I do it with the mouse? Yeah. Okay. And this one right here, see the one that has a, looks like a little clock,
timer.
and that's exactly right. If you tap it, it comes up with timer off, 3 seconds or 10 seconds. So if I clicked on 3 seconds, what it will do, and it's yellow, when I hit the shutter button, it's called a delayed shutter, so it won't go off for 3 seconds. So I'm going to tap it, and it's counting down, and then it takes the picture.
Is this where you set it up, click it, and then run into the family portrait so you're part of it?
That's exactly what you do.
That's
Yes.
where you do the
10-second one.
Yeah.
10-yard dash in 10 seconds. Okay.
Well, yeah, you can make, well, don't be so far away. Okay, now I'm
Yeah.
gonna turn it off.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you catch the moment you want when you hit the shutter, but
Yeah.
you get the idea there. That's the other major one you might want to be using from time to time. By the way, make sure this one looks like black and white. If you tap it, it will take a black and white picture or a colored picture. See how it's putting tints on it?
When did you tap to get that one?
The 3 circles.
Okay.
It's a circle.
It was to the right of the timer. It was the last one.
It's this one here.
Why would you want to select it rather than waiting until you edited the photograph for the
Well, I can take a black and white picture. So I know what the black and white picture is going to look like.
Right.
rather
I'm
than
not-
doing it-
I
rather
don't
than
want to,
rather than doing it in editing, making it black and white when you're editing?
you can do that.
Okay.
So what should the setting be ordinarily for that?
Or original,
Original.
where I have mine.
Okay, original, okay.
I assume it's in original unless you mess with it.
Yes.
Since we
But-
didn't know it was there, then it should be an original for most of us.
That's correct. It's a wonderful way to think about it. It's one less complication you need to worry about.
Ignorance is bliss sometimes.
If you click there where it says video, we already talked about that. I have a story about this one. My wife didn't know her camera's in video. She didn't notice this. Notice the different, the shutter button. If I'm in photo, it's white. If I'm in anything else, it's red. Okay. She didn't recognize that. She was in video. We were on a cruise, on an excursion, whale watching. And somebody said whale, and she went over and tapped it, captured the whale tail going into the water. She's thinking she just took a picture. It continued running. So now she's videoing everybody on the deck of the boat, everybody running around. Somebody else said, whale. And she went and she clicked it again, stopping the video.
Oh,
So she's got a tail at the end, a lot of scurrying, and a whale actually breaching at the end of the boat. Okay,
Mhm.
just pay attention to that button.
Bill, can you speak about the to the right of photo portrait, the nuance between a photo and a portrait?
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. I'm
Sorry.
going to go through them all.
Okay.
Sharon, anybody there use Cinematic? Any of the newer folks?
I have.
What does it do? I have not used it.
I don't really know.
You
I
tried
think it's
it.
just, I think it's just supposed to give you a little bit more flair in it.
Okay. Again, since most of us, unless we have a 15 Pro, excuse me, don't have that. Slow motion. It slows the motion of the picture you're taking. And I'll give you an example of that. If I go to my photos, I'll show you, I had my grandson, a few years ago, I had him, he had a remote control car and a bunch of play blocks. So I had him build a wall with the play blocks, and then with his remote control car, run the car through the blocks. This is what it looked like. Now watch his hand going very slow, isn't it? I was
Yes.
taking it in slow motion. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the effect you can get with slow motion. If you have somebody jumping on a
Trampoline.
trampoline, right? It's interesting to watch it in slow motion. Okay,
I found out about cinematics.
what? Okay, go ahead, please.
It creates clips with a simulated depth of field effect that
Okay,
keeps your subjects, people, pets, and more in sharp focus while applying a pleasing blur to the
on the
background
background.
or
Okay,
foreground.
yes.
As you record, the camera uses machine learning to automatically detect and focus on subjects in the scene.
All right, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
The key factor there, it's taking a video and it's blurring the background.
Yeah.
A little bit, yes.
Okay, cool. The other one there, if I'm going to the left now, is time lapse. It's the reverse of slow motion. And you might want to use that. You should have a tripod to use it so your phone can be stationary for some time. If you're out on siesta at sunset, set up a little tripod, focus on the sun just as it's about to dip into the water, and just turn it on and let it run until the sun's down. When you play the video, it's much quicker. And in 5 seconds, you'll see what took 5 minutes perhaps to run. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it makes this sound like you blew out a candle at the end. Kidding. Okay. All right. Now somebody wanted to get into portrait mode here. Portrait
Yeah.
mode. When you bring up portrait mode, you get these this little set of boxes that show up. If you
Yeah.
click on it, you can move. Okay. I don't know if it's going to happen correctly here, but I'm going to try it. And I put it in stage lighting, and I took a picture. And this is the way it came out. Oh, it didn't. There's not much difference there. Let me show you one I did yesterday of someone. I was teaching a class yesterday. And let me go back to that picture. Okay. That was portrait mode. He was in the classroom, and I put it in portrait mode and shifted those little boxes to where it said stage lighting and took the picture. And it essentially blacks out the background.
Mm.
It's like a overhead stage light on you.
Yeah.
Okay. Really dramatic shots, and that's a good picture, right? And I have a bunch like that I take during my classes. And it didn't do much on where it doesn't always have a big effect, but when you get it, it's really nice. Okay.
Bill, if you take your camera and put it on selfie mode, so it's looking at you, and
Oh,
you're on portrait, you can actually see the changes of the lights.
okay. Let me do that. Oh, we're in trouble now. Okay. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Bill.
Ooh,
So
some of these are pretty scary when it gets black and white.
Are you saying I'm scary?
Eerie, not scary, but sort of
Eerie.
eerie.
Okay. eerie.
The
I'm gonna-
wrinkles scare me, my wrinkles. It's like, oh no.
So
don't
there I
wanna-
took,
Yeah, mine
and
too.
there's the picture I took.
Nice.
Okay.
We could do something fun with that and put it as our ID picture on Facebook.
There you go. Okay.
No,
Thank
it's
you.
scary.
Thank you, Bill. That's a great suggestion. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I did a selfie on my iPad and then I took a picture of it and put it in the portrait on my
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah, you can do that afterwards too. Yes. But we'll get to that in a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the only other one we need to cover is Pano. And in Pano, you see what comes up when you hit Pano?
Yeah.
It shows you where your camera is focused and has this little arrow. And what you do is you push the button and then you gradually move the phone the direction of the arrow. And you don't want to go up or down when you start it. See the arrow? You want to keep the arrow on the line and gradually go from right to left. Now, I did this in the class yesterday as well, and I'll show you the results of that.
Right to left?
I'm sorry, left to
Left
right.
to right.
Thank you. Go the direction of the arrow. Okay.
Bill, if somebody said I could take that kind of thing of one of the high-rise buildings and start at the bottom and go up.
That's correct. You can. And it works really cool when you do that. Okay. Let me go back to my photos from yesterday. See if I think I have one in there.
Do you have to turn the camera horizontal to do that so that the
Go
arrow
up.
goes up?
Yes, yes. That's what you would do.
Okay.
Where do I have that one? I don't think I deleted it. Let me go back to my photos from yesterday. There it is. So there's one. And what I did, you see the guy standing on the
Yes.
left and the same guy standing on the right?
Yep.
Was not his twin. I started this with him standing on the right, on the left, I mean, and I moved my camera gradually. Let me put my mouse pointer on the screen there. I moved my camera gradually this way. And when I got to about here, I asked him to walk around behind me and stand over here so that by the time I got there, he was there. And the purpose of that is showing you what happens. It's taking successive pictures and pasting them together. So it's not taking a video, it's taking successive pictures rather rapidly. And if you move the arrow too quickly, it'll say slow down. Okay?
Yep.
So this really demonstrates how it works, right? And you can go up.
Why is there such a distortion in the front table, which I'm
Because
assuming is not?
it was
curved?
not there, right? That's because of the way it works, right? As I get back here, it starts, right? And it will have this, what do we call it, elliptical kind of effect. All right.
I use that one a lot when
Yeah.
I'm like
ahead.
at one of our dances and we had the Halloween people all dressed across the front of the stage. And that way I can go from one end all the way to the other and get everybody. But as you say, it is distorted a little, but it still is a wonderful thing to get a big line of something.
Yep. Yep. I used it when I was at the Grand Canyon, one of the roads at the top of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Dramatic, dramatic.
You still didn't tell us about up and down, did you?
Yeah, you turn your phone this way. Yeah, you turn your, let me unscrew it here. You turn it like this and go up the building. Okay, you turn it sideways, and then you push the button and go up.
Hmm. I think you have to practice that long now.
Yeah, it's just fun to play with it. You know, if you're at some place where you like what your
Yeah.
the scenery is.
Would it still be as distorted if you went up?
No, it should be the same.
I, Kathleen, do you know? Have you tried it?
Yes, I've tried it several times, and each time, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So part
But
of the
the-
problem is that I end up having to, I'm up like this with my camera and,
Well, but these resulting pictures, is it kind of elliptical or is it distorted in any way?
yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh,
Well, that's
That's
because
be-
you're
that-
moving
that's-
backwards. If you went straight up, straight, it would be better than going backwards like you're doing.
oh, well, that's what I need to do to get the camera of the top of the top of the building. I can't just go this way. The building is so tall that the only way I could do it is like this.
Could also be difference in distances that affect the,
Yeah.
what you see,
Yeah.
it's closer up down below and the distance up above.
You just
Big
have to take it out and try it and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
If the distances are changing like they did on the classroom because
Yep.
of the focus distance, or if you're taking a scene or something like the thing, your distance from you to the bottom of the building is closer than you to the top of the building.
Yeah.
But so that if you're just taking a general picture and the distance is equal, there'll be a
Yeah.
little bit of distortion, but you don't see it. But if
Yeah.
you're close in and there's a big difference in the distances, you will
Yeah.
see that on any of them.
Yeah.
This makes me want to go back and look at my pictures, so I will see what the problem was. Now that I know all about this, so know what I'm doing a little bit better. So thank you.
Good. Couple of things. Number one, if you have a set of earphones from Apple that's on a cable, those are the Apple ones. It has this little control thing in the middle of the cord for the earphones. You can plug those earphones in and then hit the button on the earphones, and it will take a picture. So you don't need to be touching your phone when you do that. You understand? I mean,
Why are you wearing earphones when you take a photo?
to use that feature,
Oh.
so I can have the camera very stable. And if you have a watch, you can do it with the watch as well.
But that's harder because if you're holding your camera with one hand,
Usually you don't want to be holding the camera, right?
yeah, to maneuver to your watch.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. My daughter has a Android phone, and somehow she has set her camera up. When she says the word smile, it'll take a picture. Is that an option on an iPhone?
Siri. Hey Siri. Take a picture. I was trying it. Let me see if I can take a picture. Yeah, I think it just took a picture. Hold on. Let me make sure. Take a picture. And it should be that picture it took. I have to set it really to the side here to make sure. And I don't have my phone set up for Hey Siri. Take a picture. Nope, didn't work. There's probably a way to do it. I just don't know how to do it.
That would be useful.
Yeah.
That would be helpful instead of earphones stuck in your ears.
We don't need to stick them in your ear.
Are they not in your ear?
They don't have to be, because it's the little control thing that's on them. And I think there's a way with the wireless ones to take a picture as well, but I have not tried to do that. You can also, the volume up button, if you press the volume up button, it does what's called burst mode. And if I press it, I hold it, and it takes a bunch of pictures. I just took 13 pictures. Okay,
Bill,
yes.
when I press my volume up button, it shows my ringer. I don't know.
It shows your ringer.
Yeah, whether my ringer is off or on or halfway or whatever.
Oh, it shows your volume. Are you on photos? You on your camera?
Oh, I should be on my camera?
Yeah, you got to be on your camera. There, I heard it. I
yes.
heard it. I heard it.
You heard it. You're right.
What do
Okay.
you do? What do you do with all the burst photos? I mean, what is the reason to take them?
You'd have to ask the paparazzi. You ever see it when a movie stars up there and this camera goes flash, 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 grrr, kind of, you hear that sound? Well, that's what you're doing. And what they're trying to do is get 6 shots and pick the best one. Right? So I took, how many pictures did I take there? There's 10 different pictures there that I took.
And
Yeah.
how is that different from live photos? If you take all the shots in live
Because
photos?
because these are individual pictures
Okay,
versus a video.
all right. Thanks. Thank you.
And if I tap select, here's all those pictures. They're all the same. Nothing moved behind them. Right? All 13 of them. Okay.
Bill,
Yes.
this is Barbara. That burst feature is good if you're taking a group photo. Let's say there's 10 people in the photo, and if you do burst, there might be somebody that just happens to blink in one of the photos, but then you can find one sometimes where nobody is blinking. So that's a good time to use the burst.
And you try to pick the one where most of the people are smiling. There's a lot of different things you can do with that. Or if you're getting a picture of a bird taking off, you could do it in video, but if you do the burst mode, you'll get the wings in slightly different positions as it's taking off.
Or the beginning of a race
Yeah, or end of a race.
or end of a race.
Yeah. Now, in that case, I'd use the video, but yes, it works.
How do I get rid of it now that I've got it on there?
How do you get rid of a picture?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a little thing. Any more questions about taking pictures? I really, really recommend you go out and take a few videos, take a few live videos, see what the results are. Try the portrait mode there. Okay. Take some panos and see how it works. So when the situation comes up and said, boy, I wish I had, you aren't experimenting on the picture you'd really like to take. So try the different ones just to play with, right?
Bill, does it make a difference if it's in the rain? I mean, how does the rain affect something like that?
I don't, I don't, well, it rains there a lot. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right, well, maybe I'll try today and see what happens.
Bill, I just want to make one other comment. The thing before that Sharon said, using your watch, that is great if you have two people. If you're taking a selfie of two people, one person can hold the phone all the way out, and then
Right.
you can just snap the photo from your watch.
Exactly.
It's real hard to do it if you're one person and you're trying to do all that, hold the phone out and hit your watch. That's crazy. But for two people, I found that it works
Take a
great.
picture. Yeah, if you do it on your phone, you say take a picture on your phone, it comes up and shows you what the camera is taking. And then you can snap a picture there, and you can even change the zoom in and out with your watch.
How do you do that?
You say, get Siri up and say, take a picture. And your phone comes up, and now I'm looking at my phone with my watch. And if I turn the crown, it zooms in and out. And I'm doing this with my watch. See how I'm zooming in? And you can even set a delayed timer on it. Wow. And I can switch the camera. Wow. I'm really controlling it all from my watch. But most of us don't have a, well, maybe we do. I don't know. All right. Let's switch gears now. Any other questions on taking pictures? As I said, I really recommend you play with it. Go out tomorrow and take a bunch of pictures in different modes. Let's make it
One thing you should,
Go ahead, Bill.
one thing you should cover on the thing, if you show the camera and you're taking a picture, if you touch in the picture itself, you can
Oh,
actually set the brightness and,
thank you. I forgot that, Bill. Oh, that's very necessary. If you put your picture, let's say I want to focus in on the beak of the bird here. I press and hold there, and a little box shows up. See the box show up? I want the little birds here. I click here, and the focus is there. And then I can put my finger over here and pull down to darken it and pull up to brighten it. So I'm setting the depth of field to focus here, and then I'm adjusting the lighting.
If you have the save your settings on, what does it end up saving your settings to whatever you decided the lighting was on this?
I believe so. Yeah. Tells you the f-stops and center. Now, I was at Disney and my family was there, and we were standing at the picture taking place at Disney, right in front of the castle. And this German couple walked by and I asked him to take my picture. And I gave him my phone. And the first thing he did was focus on us and then touch the screen. In that instant, I knew I picked the right person because he touched the phone and then he moved the lighting to be just right and then took the picture.
Mm.
Okay.
I had not known about mover lighting, and you've changed my photography. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah, Bill Keller. Thank you,
Oh, yes.
William.
Yeah.
Right.
It's unfortunate we learn these little tricks when we're in your class. And then when we get out into the real world and are utilizing and could use that knowledge, it's like we forget.
Yes.
That's
Remember.
that's a big one. And don't
that's
forget.
why you have to practice a lot when you're not caring so that you remember it. Because if you walk out of class, it'll be forgotten.
Yeah, it's true. That's why we keep coming to these classes.
Well, so skip lunch today and go take a bunch of pictures. I'm kidding. Okay.
Um,
So by setting the depth of field, by clicking on it, I'm saying the back may be slightly out of focus, but make sure that is in focus. And then you say, oh, I'll make it a little brighter or darker. And then you take the picture,
oh,
and that's the picture you get. Okay.
Yep.
Somebody's mute should be muted. I don't think it's me. I'm going to mute all. There we go. Any other questions about taking pictures? All right, so I'm going to, on both my devices, I'm going to go to my photos now. Oh, one thing I want to mention. One thing I want to mention is just a minute. When we talk about photos, we have all these photos on our device. If you are running out of space, you often say, well, I can delete some photos and save some space because each photo takes a lot of space and videos take a tremendous amount of space. In actual numbers, each photo takes between 1 and 2 million bytes. That's the same space as a song takes or a book. If it's a video, just multiply, because that's a series of pictures. It gets up into the gigabytes. Now, these short little videos that we have, live videos, don't take that much space, but you get the idea. Here I have a bunch of photos on the screen because I went to my library. Let me go to it on both my iPhone and my iPad. And they're at the bottom of the screen on the iPhone, it says library, for you, albums, and search. Let's first start with library, and we go there both on our iPhone and in our iPad. We tap where it says library when we bring it up. Now, if you have a screen like mine there, you're good. If you don't, you might have one that looks like this. If you tap, let me get the right pointer here. If you tap right up here, you'll get the side panel. And I need you to get the side panel because that's the table of contents for working with your photos. And if you tap, we'll cover library first. So I'm going to tap where it says library on both devices. And on my iPad, it says years, months, days, and all. Tap where it says years. And hopefully everybody's where I am right now. Okay? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Now, my iPad is giving me the years. And if I scroll, I can go to any year where I have data that says that picture was added to your device that year.
Sorry, Bill, I don't know where you are even from the beginning. I was on mute. This photos where and library. I don't recognize that initial screen that you're showing. Under what category are you for that?
I went to my home screen and I tapped this icon.
Oh, the photos. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Let me find it.
I did too, but I can't get the writing on the left-hand side.
Leanne, you're looking at your iPad?
No, iPhone.
The whiting is at the bottom. It says library for you albums at the bottom.
Yes, at the bottom.
Click on library
I'm on library.
and it should say years, months, days, and all photos at the bottom.
It does.
So tap on years.
Okay.
So they have organized this rather nicely. They're saying, here are the different years your photos were taken. So if I go to 2021 and I tap it, then it shows me the different months within that year that the photos were taken. And if I know the picture was taken in, let's say June, I can tap that screen, right? And now I've got the pictures that were taken the month of June, followed by July, September, October. Get the idea? And so if
Bill?
yes, go ahead.
I have a picture from 2026 that I can't figure out why I have a picture labeled 2026.
Neither can I. There is a way that you can edit the photo and change the date it was taken.
Okay,
So
thank you.
somebody did that with that picture.
All right.
Bill,
Yeah,
I'm so
if
glad
you-
you introduced me to this because I just got whatever. Now I know how to find it. Thank you.
Yeah,
But Bill, if you edit any picture, it automatically changes the date. I have a picture of John in 2024.
and you edited it and then it changed to today.
It changed it to yeah, 2024.
Okay. I
I have,
didn't,
I have pictures of him.
that's the last updated. I guess that's when it would be.
That's what it does, yeah.
Yeah,
You can't change that to keep the date that
you
the picture
can
was
by
taken.
edit. Yes, we'll get to that when we get to editing pictures. Okay? Because there's a way to go in and change the information. Okay? So that's library. I'd like you to go to albums on both the iPhone and the iPad. I'm sorry, and on the iPad, go to recents.
And on the iPhone,
Go to albums. You can go to albums on the iPad. There's a way to get to albums. All albums. If you scroll down far enough, it says all albums. Okay, let me explain that again. On your iPads, it says photos on the left-hand panel. If you scroll down there to where it says My Albums, and you tap the arrow to expand that group, you should see one that says All Albums. I'm trying to get you to the same place on both the phone and the iPad.
it doesn't say all albums on the phone.
Yeah, it will. Tap where it says My Albums and then tap the arrow and it should expand down to where it says All Albums. Yes, no?
No,
What do you? Okay,
I
got a
have
bunch.
my album See All.
Okay, tap
And it
see
does-
all.
Okay,
Tap
See All, then I have my albums at the top.
Right. It says My Albums. Does it say All Albums?
It's got a left-hand arrow that says albums, then it says my albums, and then it says edit at the top.
I'm at the same place.
I'm nowhere.
We went to
That's on the-
photo.
That's on the phone.
Okay, if you're on the phone, you just tap albums at the bottom.
Mhm.
And on the iPad, I don't see anything that I see on yours.
Okay, you have to tap. In other
I
words,
tapped photo.
yours looks like that.
No. I,
Does
I,
it?
I, I
It
can't
has,
get albums.
it has the side panel.
No.
Okay, you have to tap up here to get the side panel.
Oh. Ah, okay.
And then you scroll down
All these
Where's-
minutes.
where it says
Okay.
shared, it says shared albums, and then it says my albums.
Yes. Hurrah.
And if you tap the little arrow that's right there,
Yes.
that will expand my albums.
I've only got a downward album, a downward
And what's
arrow.
it say right below my albums?
All albums, WhatsApp,
All,
new
and what I want you to tap where it says all albums.
Okay.
And Anne, were you able to get to all albums?
Mine says my albums. It doesn't say all albums.
Okay, you see the little arrow next to my albums?
I'm on the phone only.
Don't go to the phone. Okay, if you're on the iPad, don't worry. If you're only on the phone, don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm on both.
I understand. But if I tap on my iPad where it says my albums, you'll get all albums. And that's where I am on my phone. I'm on all albums on my phone as well. It says albums up here at the top on the phone. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. You have one album called Recents. Everybody has that, and all your pictures are in there in the order in which they were taken. I want to just go down this list and talk about a few other things as well. So that's all your pictures. And then I have additional albums here that I have created. I have one here called Favorites. And if I go to a picture, and we'll do it after a bit, we can make any picture you have show up in this album, the one I have my arrow on, right? If you scroll down further, if you scroll down further, it says people, pets, and places. And if you scroll down a little further, it has already organized your photos. And I got to get to it on your iPad. It says media types. And mine says I have taken, on my phone, it says I've taken 84 videos, 22 selfies, 122 live photos. I must have had that on quite often when I didn't intend to. So when I was in live photo mode. So it has already organized your pictures into various different subcategories. Okay. It says, how many pictures do you have in there in slow motion? I only have that one I showed you. I have 3 cinematics, 33 bursts, 149 screenshots, and screen recording 1, and animated 8. I've imported 132 pictures. I have 5 duplicates. Everybody got the idea there?
How do you
Why is
get
the
rid of them?
I got 3 questions at once, one of you at a time.
Well,
No, but-
let's say you have 262 bursts, which is ridiculous. How do you get rid of them?
Well, if I just want to see my burst photos, I tap that. And these are all the pictures I've taken in burst mode.
Can you delete the whole thing in some way?
I think you can if you tap select and you go and I select one. I go down here. I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to touch the garbage can. And this one, and that one looks foggy, so I'll just hit the garbage can. It says 64 photos in those 4 or 5 that I tapped. And I deleted all of them.
There was also a select all at the top.
There you go.
And you said there were 64 photos. Is each of these one photo with more things in the back or
No,
more?
let me do it the other way. I'll select one photo. Let me find one here. Okay, it's one photo, and if I hit delete, it says one photo selected. It says there are 4 pictures in that burst mode.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Bill, also, if you hit the one photo and then hit select, it on the bottom, it shows you all of the photos that were taken in that photo, and then it gives you the option to either just save one of them or save several of them.
We were going to get to that.
Okay, sorry.
Well, yeah, that's what I'd like to know because it's silly to have,
I know, we're not going to do that today. We're going to do that
Oh.
next time.
Bill, if we've got all this on iCloud and it should be showing up on all our devices, on my iPhone, it shows the number of videos and the number of selfies, etc., but not on my iPad. It has no numbers beside it.
There's no
It's not a
numbers.
big deal.
That's the same videos, but it just doesn't have the number there.
Yeah, so nothing's showing up on the iPad, whereas all
Well, if you
the
tap where it says videos, they're all there.
yes, they are. Okay,
It just doesn't have the
numbers.
numbers.
How many videos? Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
I started to mention this. When you take a picture and your device is set up, the picture is stored on this device, on the device you took it on. It's sent up to the cloud, and the other device you might have or devices. So I took it on my phone. It almost instantaneously shows up on your other device, let's say your iPad.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I go to my all my albums and I tap recents, there's a picture I took on my iPhone and it shows up on my iPad. Now here's the clincher. If I delete it from my phone, it will delete it from my phone, then it will delete it from my iCloud, and then it will delete it from my other device. In other words, it will delete it so you no longer have the picture anywhere. Okay?
Mhm.
So everybody should keep that in mind when you start deleting pictures.
No, I have a lot in that life mode, live photos,
Yep.
and I think that's why it's full, more full. How do you delete just
Okay.
1 or 2 of those?
There is another trick you can use to save space on your device other than deleting the photo. And so I'm going to go back to my home screen on both devices. And I'm going to go to settings. Now remember, each picture takes about 2 million bytes, plus or minus. And therefore, if you go to settings and general, I go to general on my phone. there's a category there. It says iPhone or iPad storage. Go ahead and tap that. And in many cases, photos is the thing that's taking most of our space. In other words, that little red bar up here, which mine says applications, is taking the majority of my space. Yours may be photos is taking the majority of your space.
Mine don't show any photos anymore.
Well, they're there. You have some photos. It just doesn't registers very much.
Oh, I've got 2 trips worth here. I haven't lost them all. I haven't
But
been.
does it say photos?
No.
Just-
Application mail iOS. I don't
well,
know what happened with the photos.
you were just looking at the photos, weren't you?
Yes, and I was deleting some of the videos, but
Okay.
not with the photos.
Okay. What I'm going to do,
Wow.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go back to settings
Yeah.
where it says, and I'm going to go down to photos in the settings menu.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, the thing to pay attention to here is optimize or download. See where my check mark is? Now, don't change anything yet till you understand what you're changing. My one item says download and keep original. That means that every picture will take up about 1 million to 2 million bytes. If you are on that mode and you switch to optimize iPhone storage, each picture will take between, this is going to sound long, but it reduces the amount of space a picture takes by between 80 and 90%.
Yeah.
What they do is they create thumbnails. So when you go, now I'm going to do this on my iPad. When you go to photos, each picture there is a thumbnail.
Yep.
And that thumbnail takes up about 100 million, 100,000 bytes versus 2 million. When I tap that picture, it may look pixelated for about 2 seconds. And then it goes to your device will go to the cloud, get the full version of the picture, and put it on the screen. If you're not on the internet, it can't do that. So it will look pixelated.
Yeah.
Pixelated looks like this. Let me zoom in. And it starts looking fuzzy.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay. If you're hurting for space on your device, this is the first place to go, and it really saves a lot of space. And I've never had a problem where I wanted to show somebody a picture and it was pixelated and I couldn't really explain it. Okay? I couldn't really explain the picture because it was looked funny. The other thing I want to cover today is making an album of your photos. And let's say I have a lot of pictures of butterflies. And I'd like to make an album of those. So right now I have gone to my home screen and I've opened the Photos application. Now, Apple knows a lot about each of the pictures you've taken and its characteristics. So if I tap on the search bar, so I'm going to tap on search. It's at the bottom on your iPhone. It actually is one of the items in the panel on your iPad. and I type in, I don't know if I have any butterflies, Butterfly. I do. So I typed in butterfly and I pressed return. Now you could type in waterfall, maple tree, skyscrapers.
Bill, how do you handle if it's a whole trip? Let's say,
We're not
about
going to
2
go. We're not going to go there yet.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, all right. So you're very specific subject, okay,
A specific subject, not a
trip, not a 2-week trip.
correct. We'll get to that next time,
Okay.
which is really impressive. I was
Okay,
just trying to get to the point where I have all these pictures of a particular thing. Okay. And I'll try trees on the other, on my iPad or iPhone, I mean. And I do search. Ooh, I didn't spell trees correctly. It says I have 307 trees. I want to see all. So every one of these pictures has a tree in it. And let's be more specific. Let's go back and do trees, but this time we'll do I'm not spelling it right. Let me go back and do trees again. And then Christmas trees. I have 27 pictures. Okay, so there's all the Christmas trees I've got. And I would like to, those are in my pictures. And I'd like to make an album of them. The process is I'm seeing all my butterflies or all my trees, and I tap the word select. And then I go through and I tap the pictures that I would like to save.
Where is select?
We cancel that. If it doesn't say select, tap see all in the upper right-hand corner of the
Oh,
search,
okay. Uh-huh.
and then tap select.
Oh, all right, thank you.
All right. And I'll tap a bunch of them here. I want to get our Christmas shirts. So I've selected a bunch. Okay, and then I click the little share box at the lower portion of the screen there. That's the box with the arrow coming out. And I click add to album. Wait a minute, Bill, I didn't name an album. What album am I going to put it in? You tap add an album, and then you tap new, and I'm going to try Christmas. Okay, and then I tap save. So now I've got an album called Christmas Tees, T-shirts. And over here, I'll hit the share box and I'll type in add to album, new album, and save. Okay. So on my iPad, if I scroll down, I should see butterflies 1. And if I go to my iPad, this iPhone, and I get out of the search, I go to my albums and I scroll down, I should see Christmas teas there.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, Anna was asking me a question. What about a place? You could type in Paris, France, or Lithuania and see what happens. What happens, Anna, when you do that?
Well, nothing for Lithuania. I'd tap in Latvia.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Latvia. Did it give you stuff by location?
Well, I see it's already got 52 pictures showing
There-
without,
There
yeah.
you go.
Interesting.
Okay.
But if it was a 2-week trip over 3-4 countries, next week, next time.
Okay. I got 10 minutes, so let me show you that.
Because most, I mean, you take cruises and most of us have done some sort of trip.
I can understand. There's a way down here, and I've got to pick the right thing. See where it says people and places? I'm on my albums, and I scroll down to where it says, it shows you a picture of a map. On my iPad, I tap people and places. Oh, I'm sorry, I tap places. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you do that and you move the map over to where you took you will
Yep,
see
Europe. Yep.
pictures there.
Yes.
And let me pick one where I have some over here. If I tapped those 27, I wonder if I press and hold that. Oop, okay. And then I can select those pictures. And that was a picture from our cruise, and we went to different places on the cruise. But this is all Vancouver. Okay.
Okay. So now to make it into an album.
Tap select and follow the same process. Tap select, hit the share box, select the pictures you want, hit the share box and put a name on it.
And sorry, where did I see the share box? I don't see it
The
physically.
bottom left.
Oh, it's that box with a little arrow on it.
Right.
And
I
it's in a
pick-
light gray, so it's not happening.
You haven't selected any pictures yet.
Oh. Okay. Yahoo.
Yahoo. Okay. Okay. I'm going to give you some homework. Number 1, go out and take pictures in each category. Number 2, create 2 or 3. I'd like you to come back with those pictures on your device so we can play with them. And number 2, create some albums. And William, Bill, are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Is there anything else I should be mentioning at this point?
No, I think that you don't want to split too much, but if they try in different kinds of pictures and then
Yeah.
they can set up albums.
Okay.
The only other thing to mention is that when you
Go.
create an album, there's no pictures in it. It's just a link back to your original.
Ah, good point. When you're taking pictures and when you make an album, it doesn't put that picture in an album. It puts the link back to the master in Recents. So let me go to an album here just to show you that. Thank you, Bill, again. Let me go to albums down here. And let me go to the butterfly one I created. And if I select one of those pictures, that one, well, let me not even select, cancel. If I press and hold that picture, it comes up and says, delete. If I tap remove from album, it removes it from an album. If I tap delete, it comes up and says, I'm going to delete it from every album and recents and the host and the host and the iCloud and your iPhone. It's going to delete it everywhere. On the other hand, if I press and hold that picture and I say remove from album, it just removes the linkage to that picture from the album.
Bill, if I decide to make an album of, say, my daughter, and I haven't identified her in lots of photos, is it going to pick out my daughter from the ones that I haven't listed that are my daughter?
That's next time. Let me save that
Okay.
people thing.
All right.
All
Bill,
right. Yes,
Bill.
sir. Yes.
the recent album, what is the time on the recent album? Is it,
That's all your pictures. I have not seen
Is
where
that from the very
recents didn't
beginning?
include everything back to 2020, 2015, right?
no, does it include the ones you took the very first time?
They should. It should.
I don't think it does that though.
If you scroll clear to the top.
In my recents, I have about 450, I think it is. And I've probably taken 20 or 30,000.
And they're on your device?
They're not on the device, no.
Okay. So you've removed them from your device. But every picture I've taken is on my device.
Under recents, in recents.
Yes, that I didn't delete. If I delete it, it's going to be gone. But I want to try something here. I'm wondering where I have that picture. It says I took it in January 2020 or 20,000. That's one I downloaded from somewhere, and the date on it was 2000.
If I pick a particular city and just click on that will it come up with all photos from that city?
If you had location services turned on, yes, it will.
Oh, thank you.
Bill, I see my trip that went through 3 different countries in Scandinavia, that they are separated into 3 different groupings of photos. Now, to make an album of the one trip, because it would be close to 600 photos, is there a maximum that you can put in one album?
No,
Instead,
there's no max. There's no max.
so instead of having 3 different albums, I'd like to put it under one album. And I just, it just means clicking on select all for all 3 separate.
And then put them in the same album. Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Does it put them in by date?
It looked like it was by, when we saw that map he had of the United States, when I looked at my European map, I've got 3 or 4 different photos showing, one for each country with a whole bunch of pictures in each one. So they've separated by country.
But she says when you look at them, are they in order by date?
Yes, they're in order by how I took them, and they've given a title to each of the little cities I was in.
Okay.
So yes, they're in order.
Thank you.
Bill?
All right. Yes, sir.
Should the recents be the same in the iPad and iPhone?
Yes, they should. It could be 1 or 2 pictures off. And I don't know why, but they should.
By about 400.
Okay.
I just wondered.
And I'm not sure why, Jim. They should be very close.
So if we create albums on our iPad, will they also show up on the same albums on our iPhone?
Yes.
And any device that we've got connected up through the iCloud?
Any Apple device, yes.
Okay.
But to do that, you have to have iCloud photos turned on.
That's correct.
Okay, that's why mine's not doing it.
Bill, is it going to, if I take pictures of my apartment building and then I go 5 blocks away, I'm still in the same area. Is it going to differentiate?
Here, I'll show you. I'll show you how that works.
Okay.
Let me go down on my iPad here. And we'll go to places. And let me go to California. See where it says 303?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start zooming in. And there's 4 at Half Moon Bay and 299. And I keep zooming and they start separating.
Mm.
And the more I separate,
The more you zoom.
the more I zoom, the more I separate, right?
Yeah.
There's some that were taken at Alex's school. And there's 149 were taken right at, and even I separated some at their house. I don't know if that's by room or not, but
Oh, thank you.
get the idea?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
I want to zoom in on that one. That's the bird feeder in their backyard.
Well, it really gets down to ground level.
Well, but some of those pictures are at the same place, so it is a little off. But they're certainly within a block. All of them were in their house. Okay?
Yep.
Amazing, isn't it? Just amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Bill, all my photos are in iCloud. When I pass on, how long is iCloud going to hang on to my photos?
As long as your account's around. Well, or you're paying them for more space and you stop paying them.
Some of the services have a section where you can say what happens if you don't use it for 3 months and who to notify, that sort of thing. I get this from Google on a regular basis.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for Apple yet,
Okay.
but there may be that capability.
Mm.
Curtis and Leroy saw an ad in the local Cooksville paper, right? And they bought a mule for $100. The farmer agreed to deliver the mule the next day. The next morning, the farmer drove up and said, "Sorry, fellows, I have some bad news. The mule died last night." Curtis and Leroy replied, "Well, then give it to us. Give us our money back." Farmer said, "Can't do that. I already spent it." They said, "Well, okay, just bring us the dead mule." The farmer asked, "What in the world are you going to do with a dead mule?" Curtis says, "We're going to raffle him off." Farmer says, "You can't raffle him off a dead mule." Leroy says, "We sure heck can. We don't have to tell nobody he's dead." A couple of weeks later, the farmer ran into Curtis and Leroy at the IGA store and asked, "What'd you fellers give? What'd you fellers ever do with that old dead mule?" They said, "We raffled him off like we said we was going to." Leroy said, "Shucks, we sold 1,000 tickets for $2 a piece. We made a profit. We made a profit of $199 or $1,998 from the sale." Farmer says, "My Lord, didn't anyone complain?" Curtis said, "Well, the feller who won got upset, so we gave him back his $2.
Wow. Wow.
And one
Hey,
last.
I was gonna say, there's another good one in chat, if you look at Kathleen Steed's.
Okay, I'm going to take a look at that.
Everyone, take a look.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, everybody, take care.
Thank you, Bill. Great class.
Yes.
See you next time.
Well, I didn't go fast.
Let me go to chat. I'm still here.
Oh, there he is, Ralph. He's still there.
Are you gonna have anything next Saturday, Easter Saturday?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thanks,
All right.
it was great.
Thank you.
Still confused.
Take care. I'm gonna take a look at chat here, see what it has to say.
It's one of my favorite cartoons.
Is it?
It's
Mhm.
Oh,
great.
where are you, chat? There it is. What happened to my chat?
Did it disappear?
No, I'm looking for, I can't, there it is. Oh, yes, yes, I've seen that one.
That's great.
Yeah. Grandma. It's not that hard. Go to settings.
There's also one that says, he's talking to a friend on the phone. He says, well, I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that now because I have to get my tech support and he's already in bed.
Oh.
All right, folks. Oh, by the way, here's one. Did you hear about the guy who rented a limo for $1,000?
Uh-uh.
It didn't come with a driver. Can you imagine spending that much money and have nothing to show for it? All right.
Oh.
Oh.
Mm.
All right, everybody. Have a good week.
Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye
Thank
now.
you.